to happen in an LNC meeting.
No, the unfortunate part was I was trying to kill the video, and as soon as I tried to kill the video, then hovering over removing them, when they start sharing again, it changes the position. So like I'm like trying to click, like it's like whack-a-mole. I don't remember where we were. I think it was public comment.
I think public comment is closed and we're moving on to the adoption of the agenda.
I'll make a comment, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
Something to be on the watch for is the tactical use of something called reactive abuse, where an abuser intentionally triggers an aggressive response in a victim by triggering their fight or flight response. Their resultant response is then pointed to as abuse or as they're the wrongdoer in order to deflect. And this is often a strategy that can be employed that we should all be on the watch for, because its intentional deployment is usually a sign that somebody is not acting in good faith, if that makes sense.
I technically closed public comment, but Mr. Chatterton and Mr. Dar, we typically don't do board members speaking. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and go to the next item on the agenda, which is the adoption of the agenda. The chair will now seek a motion to adopt the agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move to amend the agenda to strike item 5B. Mr. Watkins, I don't believe is here. He sent an email to the list saying that he would be okay with deferring this to another meeting. I agree it is not an urgent matter, and I think it would be best deferred. I don't think it needs to be addressed, and I think it would be better to have Mr. Watkins be at the meeting since this is his item.
Point of information, Mr. Chair.
We will need to adopt and second the agenda prior. Mr.
Point of information, Mr. Chair. It would take 2/3 to strike it from the agenda because it was a noticed thing. Otherwise, when we adopt the agenda, when that item comes up, I had planned on making a motion to table it until the next meeting on the first Sunday of November.
Sure. You can do that. I will defer to you, Mr. Secretary.
And I move to adopt the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second. I had my hand raised to be recognized prior to that for an amendment.
Mr. Chatterton, you're recognized.
I wanted to propose to amend the agenda to move new business item E to the start of new business. That'd be the request for the 2-minute voluntary reports, and propose that occur at the beginning of that section.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second.
All right, we'll move on to discussion. Would anybody like to be recognized for discussion? Mr. Chatterton, would you like to speak on that?
I appreciated the general request that was made, and I think that's a great proposal for us to consider doing that. I think it would be most suitable to happen at the beginning of the new business, or as early as we otherwise could fit that onto the agenda.
Anybody else who can be recognized? Going once.
This is it's Pat. I'm sorry. What started as one request from one state chair has, I wouldn't say viral, but I've gotten 4 or 5 state chairs who've filled in from around the country that they'd like to do it. So I just want to make sure it gets done today. I know we have a tendency to run long. Thank you.
Mr. Martin?
I'll be swift. This is a really great idea, and I totally support it. It's really great to be able to talk to not only each other, but our supporters about what's going on, what we're doing, and totally think that kind of check-in is should be a norm. I really like it, and I'm implementing something similar in my own board.
All right. Does it need to be a roll call vote?
Yep. Well, I mean, unless there's objection.
Is there any objection to moving item E to A in new business? Going once, going twice, going 3 times, it is unanimous. Item E is now moved to item A, or above item A. Are there any further, is anybody else seeking to be recognized on the agenda? Going once, going twice, going 3 times, discussion is closed. Is there any objection to the agenda as amended? Hearing none, agenda is adopted. All right, so standing item number 4 is Convention Oversight Committee report, 10 minutes. Mr. Ford, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, sir. And I will be uncharacteristically brief because I want to give Mr. McGee an opportunity to weigh in. Forgive my voice. I was down actually with Florida men, literally, last week, advancing the convention in the deepest, reddest territory imaginable. Anyway, we continue. I like to describe this period. We're in the grind it out stage. What do I mean by that? Well, a good chunk of the website is up. The next priority is to get packages, more detailing complete and up on the site. We've arrived at pricing for all of that. Now is when we need to get people to sign up for hotel rooms. We're closing in, by my calculation, about 20%. If you were to go to the calculator on the website, the host websites, it doesn't include reserved rooms, bulk rooms. So we're closing in on 20%, which means to everyone listening here, please get your rooms. We've got about 750 rooms total. We're projected to attendance of around 1,000 based on past trends. That means, and I'm looking at DC, we'll run out towards the end. I would hate to have people have to pay market rates. It's a significant difference, $139 a night versus already over 200 for Memorial Day weekend next year. Okay, so we're in the grinded out phase. We've got commitments from actually money in house, I believe, from 14 different tables. We've got total about 80 in inventory, which we've never sold that many before. But we're going out. I've got calls out and calls into all sorts of organizations. If there's someone that you in the membership or you on the board feels like should contact, and Iron Light, by the way, is one of them. I'd love to get their information. We had a conversation about that in our last meeting. But this is the time to tell me, because this is the time people are making their schedules for late spring. So I'm open to any and all suggestions. A couple of really interesting thoughts have come up as things to do. We're still looking at what kind of major event we're going to have on Saturday night. I think one of the fun aspects is to have a free speech kind of rant area where people will be asked to donate a few dollars. It'll be running all day, every day, where people can get up and, well, hopefully not of a personally insulting manner, but let's just say, but aggressive free speech on any one of a number of geopolitical or national issues. Issues like that we're going to have a lot of fun with. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. McGee. The focus of tonight is going to be on what we're going to do for 2028. Now that we've agreed that we're going to have a February President's Day weekend convention and the process that's going to accomplish. I'm just going to say this. Mr. McGee's been all over this. A number of cities and towns, municipal libertarian groups have reached out saying they want to have the convention at their hometown. And I will tell you that the people in Tennessee have been particularly aggressive at getting information to us. But there is a form, there is a format. Reach out to me or Mr. McGee. And let us know so that we can get you paperwork. I want to stress this, and I want to be positive about this. We can't have people just calling up and say, hey, listen, I live in Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa is a wonderful place. That's where we need to have our convention. And we're not picking out Tuscaloosa, by the way. All right. But that isn't good enough. We need you to actively engage with your convention as visitors bureaus and get them the paperwork and information so that we can make a rational decision. So it just isn't a suggestion box. This is a working project with a lot of details. And on a final note, if you go to the convention website, you'll see for the first time ever, we've got a text helpline that we put up for people who have concerns or issues or confusion or chaos. Now, I'm going to drop the secret. That goes to one of my 5 cell phones. Okay. And a number of Weisenheimers, that's what my nuns would have called them, have already called to see and just text me help. And I'll get back to everybody. And one person in particular was stunned that I called them back. And then I think he had a stretch for a legitimate question, which was fine. It's all in good spirit. But we have a text line set up. It's on the website. You have questions or confusion, call us. Let us know. We're trying to get everybody there. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. McGee, and have at it, buddy.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ford, for that introduction. Mr. Ford is very much correct. My primary focus prior to finalizing the RFP, because we finally agreed on a date that's set to go out. Prior to putting the RFP together, I worked on a brief study, brief, that's a little tongue-in-cheek, of different areas that would be ideal based on domestic flight prices to and from a destination, average hotel prices, event fees, resort fees, and came up with a list of a top 15 locations that would be ideal. And I plan on focusing on personally sending out RFPs to hotels in those areas. That said, at the end of the day, the focus here is on getting the best value proposition. And I understand, again, there are a number of states like Tennessee and Texas that are really on the ball right now and would really like to have it there. And so as soon as this meeting closes, I will be posting the RFP to the public list and encourage everyone who, wants to have the 2028 convention in their hometown to send the RFP to whomever they think will put it in a bid. Because at the end of the day, we really want the best value proposition for the 2028 convention. So that's all I have.
All right. Are there any questions from the body? Going once,
One more.
going.
If I could just throw one more very quick point in,
Go ahead.
we've established, and you should be seeing information about going out about this, a series of classes with the Leadership Institute, spearheaded by Nathan Fatal. A lot of us are familiar with him and his work. Those will be Saturday morning and Sunday morning before the session opens. And number two, we're going to be having another track, and it's going to be on Saturday and Sunday right before lunch. Or as I say, during lunch. The important thing about this training is it's not your sort of run-of-the-mill campaign training. There's been an awful lot of good efforts put out for that type of training over the years. I think the one that I'm more interested in, and please go to the website, and you'll start to see this stuff appear over the next day or so, is going to be what I call the care and feeding of volunteers. We will spend a 2-day track, total of 3 hours in classroom. Some pretty aggressive training on why people volunteer, how to get them to volunteer, how to track their progress, how to assign them to work that they love, all the things necessary to keep volunteers. There was my highlight for the week. That would be it, to tell folks that this training is aggressively priced. It includes a meal, so folks can get up or go out to lunch. It's apart from convention business. So, and it's a type of course where we could literally have a few hundred people signed up for each. And that's how aggressively I want to promote this. We're going to be asking the convention, forgive me, my voice is shot. Briefly, we're going to be asking affiliate support about sending out the letter to state chairs so that they can potentially sponsor some of their people to go through this training. So it's going to be pretty unique, and I think it's going to be pretty special. So I encourage everyone to look at that. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. All right, barring any questions, we'll move on to new business with previous notice. And item A is request for 2-minute volunteer report from each member. So I'll allow members to raise their hand from the board, and when called upon, I'll set a timer for 2 minutes. You can give your report. So I'll go quick. First, it's been a while since I've given a last chair report in Grand Rapids. I guess I'll start with the finances.
Wait, point of order, Steve. I think that's not what this is.
Is that not what this is? I thought this was everybody.
I think it's a request to actually implement this in the future.
No, it's not.
Oh, I'm not. Oh, I'm sorry.
It is to give the reports.
Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry.
No worries. So real quick on the financial front and fundraising. Archimedes 2.0, aka the Parity Project, which is being spearheaded in large part by staff, Perry Willis, Anna Kennedy, Matt Hudson, the whole staff has basically cleared their schedules to focus primarily on this project. We started off with a few targeted mailers. This is actually pre-Parity Project. We spent about $3,800 on mailers. We made $40,000 in return. We sent out another mailer that's going out soon. And once that goes out, we're going to start the Parity Project officially. We partnered with a company called Ironlight. They're very, very good. We actually just hired them to clean up our data, which has been messed up for years. So we're finally getting a professional company to come in and sweep up our data. We have about 1 million data points, 1 million records. A lot of it's duped. It's not usable. We only send our emails out to about 15,000 people. We're going to be cleaning up that entire list. So if we get 150,000, 200,000, 500,000, we're going to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x our actual usable membership database in our CRM, which is very, very important. And we'll be able to start actually targeting those members. Stage 2 is renting the 700,000 registered libertarians that we know of nationwide in the 33 states that have voter registration, using their information to essentially target them for the parody project. So they're going to be getting emails, texts, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google AdSense, etc., with this parody project, which is the project to be at parity with Republicans and Democrats in terms of fundraising, membership, and visibility within the next 10 years. So I'm very excited about it. That was a part of our pitch in the newsletter. It made us a lot of money. Wow, I'm almost out of time. Other than that, I'll just say really briefly, I was able to get a lot of earned media, especially after the whole Elon Musk thing. Got to talk to Axios, Daily Mail. I spoke with Nigel Farage on his show in the UK. I spoke with Bill O'Reilly. I spoke with CNN. Just a lot of different media outlets. It was very, very exciting. And we had a really cool X Space a couple weeks ago with Maj Touré and Eric. And that was really cool. We're going to hopefully do more of those. But that's kind of my 2 minutes. I'll leave it there. And we'll go next to Mr. Martin and then Mr. Dar. Mr. Martin, go ahead.
Hey there, guys. How we doing? So I have a few things. I'll try to rattle through what I can. I've definitely been doing some work on implementing Project Overwatch, and we've got the affiliate support committee that has adopted it as its new home, so that's great. We'll be focusing on recruiting some talent and moving things forward that way. I've arranged meetings with legislators for Defend the Guard, especially in Hawaii, and it looks like it's going to pass, so we're really excited about that. I've arranged support for other legislative activism in Region 1, and we have Region 1 states that are gearing up for some pretty cool legislative fights and some pretty important ones. Eyes on New Mexico for one of those. We definitely are going to be working on more of that and trying to get kind of other activists trained in how to do effective legislative activism, not just doing public testimonies, but actually convincing the decision makers to change their minds when you can identify them anyway. Represented the LNC in multiple testimonies before the Hawaii Elections Commission, righting a previous wrong, and we are moving ahead with that. We're really excited. Those are available on YouTube. I'll probably get some clips and go ahead and publish those out as well. So there's a lot of support for us on that. We have a lot of very happy constituents on that front. Let's see, we have ongoing conversations and support for our Region 1 states. There's definitely a lot of division and frustration in the party right now. So we're trying to kind of keep those channels open and definitely been working with the state chairs who want it. We've been helping the New Mexico chair, of course, with the situation over the last few weeks, which is really quite troubling. You guys are surely aware we stopped an attempted overthrow, a nationally coordinated overthrow of the Hawaii affiliate. That was pretty cool. We're investigating and dealing with corruption kind of on all levels and moving forward on having a better LP and a better, cleaner political environment for us to operate in. And so salt and light all the way. I don't want to take up too much time. Am I at 2 minutes? I wasn't really
We're at 2 minutes.
Much love.
Next is Mr. Dar.
All right. So, like the chair said, Project Archimedes, aka the Parody Project, has been beginning to launch there. We did get a max donation towards that and other fundraising opportunities. Many meetings and working with people to pare things down to get it where we needed to get it to this point. It took a lot of sweat and tears to get it there. Let me see. Previously, I was averaging 3 to 4 daily meetings for the party between just different committees and different staff meetings and just fixing different things there. I'm trying to drop it down to an average of 2 meetings per day just to make it more manageable for my family. I've called in excess of 1,000 people. I do at least 100 calls a month on behalf of the party there, calling different people, leaving messages there. So that's just what I'm working through there. I also am able I was also able to recruit a new commission-based fundraiser. I'll be following up and helping to mentor this person in the future, and anyone that needs help working on that. I've been doing that for a little bit there. Let me see. I've also been working on the December LNC meeting. We got several different bids there on the reviewed. I believe we brought it down to one and just need to get down some of the details. I do have two speakers already lined up for that. Mike Surtek from the Advocates for Self-Government and Dr. Mary Ruert. Let me see. Also, we have the LNC bylaws is one of those meetings that I've been doing. We do have a public list at the Google public list. If you just go to the normal URL, LNC-bylaws-committee, we'll get you to that list and you can find where you can see our meetings and all that. And we got lifetime pins out, though there were some issues with mailings going with that, and staff will be working on that. Otherwise, I just a lot of things. If you ever get a message from me, I do go on to the staff calls. I try to get on to at least one of them a day, but I don't always reach that. But so I get an average of a minimum of 3 a week. And so if you get random messages from me about stuff to contact Hannah, it is stuff that she's brought up in those meetings. I think that's around my 2 minutes there. So thank you all. You can also get this all. I have a newsletter, paul.dar.org/newsletter, where I put all this in a report every month. And I do a members meeting at the beginning of the month that's also listed there. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Dar. Next up is Mr. Chatterton, then Mr. Ford, Mr. Chatterton.
Thanks very much. I've been up to a lot recently. We've been doing some really great efforts in Michigan, trying to work on some coalition activism, particularly around the Bitcoin crowd. It's been a little bit since this happened, but one of the cooler events that was done was getting out to our state capitol and doing some legislative activism. There was with a group that we went around and I think met with the offices of around 15 different state legislators in one day. And then held a offsite barbecue from their office building where we had about 5 different legislators in attendance at that. I can't take direct credit for that event or anything putting that together, but I participated along with that and was very inspired by it and trying to work closer with the people who did put that on. Additionally, I think one of the more important things that I've been doing is working, as Mr. Martin alluded to support our state affiliates in the region, particularly New Mexico. I think it's really critical that we are working with and protecting our recognized affiliate there. We invested over $50,000 into fight for their ballot access last election cycle, and at this time, the state has not honored that successfully acquired ballot access. So it's really important that we stand with them and help them secure that victory. Additionally, they're fighting against legislation in their state in which they are trying to have a proposal that puts forward changes that will attack parental rights as well as medical autonomy, potentially forcing medical treatments on children around the state through a large fund there. And hopefully we can help them take care of some of their other issues that they've got going on there so that they can focus their resources and efforts as a state towards fighting those meaningful battles at the state level, where it's really critical. I think we can do a large part to stand with them and make sure that they have the support they need, as I think they're under attack by some subversive interests that are Democrat aligned, and potentially some sympathizers around that in the party. So I think it's really critical, and I hope we can see a successful outcome to the business on tonight's agenda for that, to make sure that we can keep our state affiliates supported and able to keep fighting the critical battles and things like legislation and ballot access to be able to operate as a political party and get that work done. So aside from that, I just hope we can continue to fight for ethical, honest action as a board and move things along productively and cohesively as a party, as opposed to some of the things we've seen. Thanks.
Next is Mr. Ford.
First of all, thank you everyone for having clearly put a lot of time into this. I appreciate that. Well, folks, as you can imagine, the convention takes up most of my libertarian day, but Let me run through a list of things we did this month and we hope to replicate next month. I testified with members of the Massachusetts Libertarian Party at a Massachusetts Joint House-Senate hearing on military affairs in support of Defend the Guard at the Massachusetts State House. You know, everybody was on their A game. We were in person and remote, depending on geography. We left with new friends. We actually, all of us got additional questioning from the staff and committee members, senators and legislators. And all in all, we walked away looking like pros. And it was just, actually, I'll tell you, it was one of my proudest moments in my entire time at the Libertarian Party. And I salute Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Brand and the entire team there for doing that. I was a guest speaker at the Libertarian Party affiliates of Orange, Dutchess, Ulster, Westchester, Putnam, and Columbia counties in support of our national convention. I attended the Libertarian Party of Maine annual picnic, spoke in support of affiliate independence as well as the national convention. I spoke at the annual Day of Peace at the Rhode Island State House as guest of sponsors the Working Families Party and the Party for Social Liberation, as well as several other local activist groups. And of course, I spoke about the Defend the Guard legislation as a way of meeting their ends, which of course is the industrial war state. I spoke in front of the Rhode Island Transportation Authority board, RE crony corporatism, draining from the support of public resources, instead to various pet projects of theirs. I also got to lecture them, Mr. DeCala, on all the benefits of actually following Robert's Rules of Order. A project that we've going on that I think libertarians will love. Last year, myself and other groups got together and we actually engaged in a semi-hostile takeover of the Providence City Council chambers and turned it into a homeless shelter. This year, what we're doing is we're organizing ahead of time with area churches and certain political groups to actually create that same environment where we have control. I'm doing it right now. I coordinated 10 to 12 deliveries of bulk water to homeless encampments, meal kitchens, and food pantries around Rhode Island every month. Got hot here all of a sudden. Holy cow. I met with the Working Party's family to discuss our legislation to reform party formation laws. I met with the Secretary of State and the House Speaker, already the same legislation. I also serve as the chair of the Libertarian Party of Rhode Island. We've engaged in a complete rework of our CRM, as well as having a positive, open to all, regardless of your political, ethnic, religious background, economic background, a free speech event in early November, which we'll have and we'll be certain to send you pictures. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Ford. Next is Mr. Redpath.
Yes, just want to say that the Arkansas petition drive will be done probably in a couple of weeks. I'm not exactly sure when they'll do. There are about 11,600 gross signatures. They need 10,000 net. They think that through paid and volunteer, there'll be close to 13,000 gross signatures in a couple of weeks. Based on the validity rate check, that should be enough, but they're going to be ultra careful, make sure they only get one turn in, and so they want to make sure that works. The other thing is I am working with the Maryland LP treasurer to put together a plan for an ask for LNC financial help for the Maryland petition drive. They have a fair amount of money there, but not enough to complete the drive. I'm going to be working on a plan, and that will be forthcoming shortly for consideration to make sure that there are sufficient resources to successfully complete the Maryland LP drive, and that's it.
Next is Mr. Buller.
Yes, I'll be brief. I have been attending the IS committee meetings, the Historical Preservation Committee meetings. I've been working on the Direct My Funds To feature that we voted on at a previous meeting to implement on our donation page. Currently, it's in staging and just needs to be tested and then hooked up with the treasury side of things. But from the technical standpoint, it's pretty good and ready to go. Thank you.
Mr. Bowler. Next is actually, I think Mr. Thompson and then Ms. Coward. Mr. Thompson.
Hey, so I'm helping multiple local affiliates and some I'm sorry, some state and local affiliates with their messaging, marketing, design, some print materials. I'm trying to form some new local affiliates and reach out to new members. I try to respond to anyone that reaches out to me, and I am desperately trying to get new people involved in the party.
Thank you, Ms. Coward.
Hello. I sit on 2 committees on the LNC right now. I am on the employee Policy and Compensation Committee, and then as well as the Financial Standards Committee. So for the EPCC, that's pretty much going fairly well oiled at this point. So that is myself, Mr. Watkins, and Mr. Bost. We are tracking all of the contracts for all of our contractors and staff, making sure that we have current ones on file, and whenever we have a contract that is coming due, making sure that we're working proactively with Ms. Hannah Kennedy, our executive director, to make sure that we always have the latest and greatest on file. So we have reviewed a few contracts, including a new contract fundraiser that Mr. Dar referenced, and then as well as some new contracts for existing contractors that had come up to expiration. So getting those re-upped. So everything is going well there. With the EPCC, kind of the next thing is working on Q4 annual performance reviews. So, kind of walking that line there. Definitely don't want to get into the staff lane. I mean, we want Hannah to manage her staff, but there is a item in our EPCC policy manual that says that we will, kind of work to identify what that process is going to look like as far as what those annual performance reviews will look like. So, we have asked Hannah to kind of put that together as far as what she envisions, and then we'll kind of workshop it from there. So more to come on that. But again, EPCC is really just aiming to kind of support staff there and not be prescriptive in how that works. Obviously, that's Hannah's bag. As far as the Financial Standards Committee goes, we are still ramping up. We have a draft going of a policy manual for the Financial Standards Committee with items such as, how do we approve expenditures? Does it, take all three of us? Does it take two of us? Just things like that. We do have a new expenditure request form that has been shared with staff. Hannah's used it for the first time. I need to make sure that once we finalize that, we get that to Mr. Ford, certainly for the convention committee, but Hannah has it for staff, and then we'll need to get it to Mr. McMahon as well, so that can be shared with the LNC. But policy manual for the FSC is still in progress. That being said, we have actually approved a couple of expenditures. Chair Nikayla mentioned the Iron Light effort that's going on right now. So that was an expenditure that was approved by the FSC, as well as round 2 of the mailers. So Mr. Nikayla mentioned that we had, what was it, like $3,600 or something like that, that we had approved for the first one, and ended up getting, $40,000 ROI on that. So based on the really good performance of that initial one, FSC went ahead and approved to roll the dice on the $6,500 investment on a second round of that. And so we're very anxious to see how that goes. So nothing more on the horizon right now from an FSC perspective. But then again, Mr. Ford, please keep us aware of any expenses. If there's going to be any kind of like AV stuff coming from a convention perspective, that we make sure that we fast track those things and get that in front of the FSC. Other than that, just at a state level, as far as the affiliates, obviously I'm vice chair of LP Texas. So a lot of the work that I do is Texas related. So I've written a couple of op-eds. So I wrote an op-ed for the Houston Chronicle regarding the Texas redistricting effort that the Republicans pulled off at the legislative session that just ended. I actually have just submitted another op-ed. They actually reach out to me now to write op-eds rather than me pitching them. So that's been kind of nice. A bit about the ICE raids that have been happening. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more publication there. And then actually just this week, and I just got home today from, I was at a rally at the Texas Capitol yesterday for a rally for a gentleman who is scheduled to be executed on October 16th of this month. So we were rallying for the life of Robert Robertson. He is, it's not just we are against the death penalty, though certainly LP Texas calls for the abolishment of the death penalty. In this case, this man is absolutely innocent. So this is something the LP Texas Executive Committee voted on late last year, and we've been very involved in this case. So I think that's all the news that's fit to print for right now.
All right. Thank you very much, Jesse. Next is Ms. Hayes, and then Mr. McKee. Ms. Hayes.
Hi. So we have a couple interesting things going on in California, specifically these two interesting lawsuits. We've got one that we filed challenging the voter roll maintenance. Essentially, through some review, we learned that there was, I forget what the numbers are, but something crazy, like 21 counties in the state only removed like 5 people from their voter roll registrations last year. And there was a couple, I think maybe I'm getting 5 wrong, but I think there was 5 that removed nobody from their voter rolls. So we have that lawsuit going on. Judicial Watch helped us bring that. Now they were dismissed from the lawsuit due to lack of standing, but LPCA is still involved, and that's going forward. We also have a lawsuit challenging the top 2 jungle primary process. That's going to case management in October. An interesting thing happened, though. There was a hearing a couple months ago where whomever was arguing for the Secretary of State said something like, well, the Libertarians don't really have a presence here in California. And all the members of the LPCA who had shown up to the hearing were there. And the judge was like, it looks like they've got a presence based on what we see here. So that was really cool. We have a new chair, Mr. Lauren Dean, great guy. Been getting him up to speed, and believe the XCOM in California was recently able to get out candidate mailers for the first time in many, many years, and apparently that's yielding some nice results. Other than that, I don't really have much to report, but thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Next is Mr. McGee.
So I'm going to keep this very brief. As I've already basically regaled everyone about my activities on the Convention Oversight Committee regarding the 2028 convention. What I will say is that in the past month, I've authored my 6th LNC respondent brief. That's got to be a record. And has prompted much wailing and gnashing of teeth, but that's neither here nor there. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Mr. Ford and Ms. Hayes, you have your hands up. Mr. Ford?
Yeah, Ms. Coward, that sounds amazing. We would love to see your op-eds. I would love to share them if you'll allow me in my little media wannabe empire. But we often forget in the Libertarian Party that there are portions of this country where the death penalty is very real and is actually emerging again from the hell it should belong in. So congratulations for that. And I'd love to see that. Thank you.
Ms. Hayes?
Sorry, I just realized I forgot to mention something real quick that I think might be helpful for other states, counties, or whatever, if you don't do this already. But my county party has been having some sort of joint meetings and commiserations with the Taxpayers Association of our county. And one of our members, Mark Jaffe, is actually responsible for getting a bunch of bond measures to fail. The Taxpayers Association people are very, very helpful and well organized. So I think they're a good ally. If you have something like that in your state or county, I think you should be trying to arrange meetings with them because they're a good a partner. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Mr. McMahon, do you want to be recognized?
Yeah, just point of personal privilege. Mr. Chatterden, I sent you an email just a few minutes ago. If you can take a look at it and let me know.
Yes.
Just response via email if you can.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for the reports. I think that was really good, actually. So something to consider for the future. All right. So next up is discussion with Mr. Michael Pickens on candidate support. I believe Mr. Pickens is here in the audience. He reached out to me a few weeks ago. He's got some things I want him to present us with on the topic of candidate support and things that may be useful for us as a body. So Mr. Pickens, if you're here, I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any way I could share my screen? Host is disabled screen sharing.
For good reason. No.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So
there you go.
I'm sorry for everyone that has dealt with that in the past. So for those of you who don't know me, I see a lot of familiar faces. It's good to see everyone again. I've written a book called Libertarian Leadership back in 2014. I've written a campaign success coach. I've coached hundreds of candidates. I've
helped lots of candidates lose with dignity and a handful of candidates win their elections. So that's how I like to put it. 2014 through 2016, I was the chair of the Libertarian Party of Washington. This is when I got started. We had 4 candidates win in 2015. One of those candidates is still elected in Moses Lake, Washington. And 2016, we had 34 candidates on the ballot across Washington state, which was a record. And it's not gotten back to that point since then. Most recently, I've written 2 other books called Liberated Mind and The Liberated Mind for Sales Mastery. And I coach salespeople for a living. I coach a national financial company. I coach over 60,000 reps, some of them one-on-one, most of them in group training, right? And I like to look at running for office the same thing as being a salesperson, right? We have to go out there and we have to convince people to buy our product, to get votes. That's our product, right? And that's profit in politics. And what I've developed over the years, some of you are familiar with the Libertarian Leadership Academy. It was an online training platform, and we have over 40 different training videos that basically cover all aspects of running a campaign. And when I talked to Stephen, he had talked about having me create a Libertarian Party branded training. So all of the trainings that I have are currently branded under Libertarian Leadership Academy. So he wanted to talk to me about creating all of these trainings basically under the Libertarian Party brand as something that can be given out for free to Libertarian Party candidates running across the country. Okay, so that's basically why I'm here talking with you today. Now, I don't know any of the other details on what you guys want or what you'd like to see. I am working on a new training course on recalling elected officials. So I am currently the chair of the Recall Rangers of Pacific County. We are recalling Lisa Olson. She is a Republican county commissioner. We filed the recall in the spring and went to Superior Court. The Superior Court judge approved our recall on the basis of the Open Public Meetings Act, violations of the Open Public Meetings Act. And if you look at pretty much any city council, county commission, state legislature, they are having executive session meetings, doing the public's business behind closed doors, right? And that shouldn't happen. So we were able to file that, successfully get it through the County Superior Court. She appealed, so now we are at Washington State Supreme Court, and we should have a decision within the next week if the recall goes forward. The recall moves forward, we're going to start collecting signatures to get it on the ballot for a special election in the spring. So that's the new course that I'm working on, to be able to walk people through the process of recalling an elected official. So that's the new one that I'm working on for those people who don't want to run for office. Maybe you want to go against a really bad public official, city council member, county commissioner that you really don't like. So anyways, that's kind of, you know, the gist of it. I don't know what everyone wants to see or what the campaign committee wants to see, but I am excited to jump back in to this path that I used to be on a decade ago. And currently I am coaching 3 candidates, and there should be some more being sent by 2 state Libertarian parties. So I'm excited to be here, excited to be back doing this.
Well, Mr. Pickens, I'd love to get you in contact with the Candidate Support Committee at some point. Back a few months ago, we voted as a board to get 3 main objectives. Number one was fundraising, membership, not in any particular order, but membership and fundraising was kind of our number 1 together. And then the last one was candidate support, Project Decentralized Revolution, which is a local level centric campaign to get libertarians elected. So whatever we can do to support our candidates as far as training materials, maybe in-person trainings or online trainings, videos, things like that. I know the idea has been floated of doing region trainings again. So maybe even doing in-person trainings in the different regions is a possibility. But I think at a minimum, what I'm very interested in is the actual curriculum and saying, hey, you're a first time candidate, maybe you're an experienced candidate, or campaign manager, or whatever the case is, and you want to run a successful campaign. Here are the tools we're going to provide you to go out and do that. So I think that's what we're currently looking for. But I'll open it up also to anybody else here that may have questions, comments, or anything else.
Yeah, so really quick, before any questions, if anyone would like copies of my campaign workbook, I'd be happy to send it over for free. If you'd like access to the online training, I'd be happy to send it over for free. I'm here to help, basically. So whatever you guys want, I will help make it happen. So.
Anybody have any questions, comments, ideas? Because if not, Mr. Pickens, what I'd like to do is get you over to Bill Schultz in the candidate support and have a little conversation with the committee. They usually meet twice a month and kind of sit down and see what our needs are and what you can provide, and just kind of chalk up a game plan and go from there.
Sounds good. That works for me.
All right.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, I'm really happy you reached out, my friend. I don't know if anybody else has anything, but I do appreciate it, and we'll get the ball rolling on that. I'll make an introduction, and we'll sit down and talk some shop later. Thanks for coming back.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, my friend. All right. Next up on the agenda, we have. I don't believe we ever made a motion on item B, which is discussion on ballot access payment distribution procedure. Mr. Watkins had requested that be moved to the next meeting since he won't be present tonight.
Mr. Chair, I move that we table this item till the November 2nd meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Is there any objection to the motion? Hearing no objection, motion passes. Next is item C, motion to initiate trademark litigation regarding New Mexico. Mr. Chatterton, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. At our last monthly meeting, we authorized the sending of a cease and desist letter related to the unauthorized use of, I believe, more than one of our trademarks ongoing in New Mexico. So given that, to my knowledge, there has been no acknowledgement or concession to the demands from that cease and desist letter, I believe that it is the appropriate time at this point to authorize that we proceed with litigation on the matter. I'll try to refrain from any sensitive details on that beyond basis, but I think that it's the responsibility of this board to follow through on defending our trademarks and making sure that we stand by and support our recognized affiliate and the resources that we have invested in that affiliate, so that they can, as I said earlier, focus on their important political activities that are furthering liberty in the state without having to continue to fight these battles. The party has invested heavily in protecting our trademark in the past. We've won some very significant fights for that, and I believe we have a very strong case to move forward at this time with that. And I think we have, furthermore, as I've alluded, an obligation to do so. So I've just sent to the secretary my proposal for a motion. I was attempting in advance of the meeting to work out some specific budget allocations, but we haven't been able to finalize those yet. We do have a rough estimate for the necessary allocation for that. So I'd welcome an amendment to that matter if we believe that that is appropriate to do so at the time, at this time. But at this moment, my intent would be to propose the motion to authorize the filing of trademark action in New Mexico pending the allocation of the necessary funds, and that authorization for the appropriate funds shall be conducted via whichever appropriate means, either by email ballot of the LNC or by action of the executive committee, however appropriate to comply with our rules, and that this litigation shall commence once the funding is approved.
Mr. Chair, would you like me to put the ballot up so that people can see the exact wording, or how would you like me to do that?
Yeah, you go ahead. If we have the language, let's put it on the screen.
Thank you for sending that, Mr. Chatterton.
That you needed it. Appreciate it.
Am I showing the correct screen?
Mr. Chatterton, is your intention to motion this now, or are we discussing this and then you're going to move it? What is your?
I am intending to move this action at the moment, and I believe it's important for us to authorize engagement in this matter in tonight's meeting, and that if we are not comfortable with the estimates that we've got at this time for financial allocations, that we still move ahead with the authorization for the action, and that we will proceed once those appropriate fundings are allocated via the means referred to. So if we do think we can move forward with that, with the estimates that we have, I would welcome any of the other members to propose an amendment to allocate those funds and strike the language calling for the follow-up action there.
I'll second that.
All right, there's a motion and a second. We'll now move on to discussion. I'll go in the order of hands. Mr. Redpath and then Ms. Hayes. Mr. Redpath.
Yes, and I don't know to what extent this is appropriate in open session, but I will bring up a question at this point. There was some discussion earlier about sort of informal discussions with the group in New Mexico that is continuing to use the Libertarian Party name in New Mexico. And I said that I would be willing to do this. It is my understanding that the vice chair was going to, I just, who has there been any sort of informal discussion with people in New Mexico about this situation, which hopefully could avoid any sort of litigation?
I do not have the answer which you seek, but somebody else, if they want to raise their hand, can speak on that. Mr. Martin, if you don't mind, I'm going to go to Hayes, then I'll go to you. You can answer both what you got to say, and then Mr. Redpath's question. Ms. Hayes, then Mr. Martin.
Hi, this is a question, and it's related to the funding, and I'm wondering if we should move into an executive session for this because it has a little bit of a strategy tie-in. I don't know if that's appropriate though. So I'm open to suggestions on that.
It would be appropriate at this time if the body wishes.
Okay, I move into executive session.
I'll second.
Regarding this funding issue.
All right, there's a motion and a second move into executive session. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Mr. Martin, go ahead.
It's probably pretty important that some of these details are discussed openly, considering the kind of dramatic events going on with New Mexico and the length of time. In answer to the previous question, yes, we've had discussions going on for years. This is an intentional, malicious attack against our party. It is not an accident. It's not something that we're just going to informally. This was brought up as a maneuver, and it needs to be dealt with appropriately, and we need to go after them and show that we mean business, that we are the Libertarian Party, and we're not going to suffer the DNC to create a liberal version of us to go replace us in a area with help from their government friends. And the public needs to see this.
Okay, but the reason I want to go in is because I don't want to reveal anything in our strategy publicly that could be used to usurp. So I don't intend to stay in executive session long. However quickly you and Mr. Sheridan can answer these budget questions, we can come right out.
I don't think the budget questions are really going.
All right, guys, I don't want any crosstalk, please. Any further discussion on going into executive session? Any objection to going into executive session at this time?
Yes, I object.
Who is that?
Austin, would you retract your objection so we can sort that out briefly with the funding and then come back for closing the discussions?
I withdraw my objection.
All right, any objections? Going once, twice, 3 times, sold. We'll go into executive session.
The recording
Mr.
has
Secretary.
stopped.
Hey, Mimi. You're in the room?
Yeah, I'm on my phone and I don't know how to do it on my phone.
Okay.
I can rejoin on my computer if you want to give me a second.
Yeah, if you could do that while I create the breakout room, that'd be great.
All right, let me do that.
Thank you. Mr. Martin, can you stop for me? It's really distracting. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. It's part of my tism that whenever there's some other sound going on, I can't focus.
Play and talk at the same time, and it really annoys me.
Okay, so I'm here.
I see, Mimi. Thank you. Where'd you go, Mimi? Where'd you go? Stop. Oh, that's the phone, Mimi. Where is the... Mimi, what's your name on here?
Mimi?
Okay.
Mimi Robson.
There we go.
I wasn't being tricky. It's my real name.
It was showing you
Okay,
as
so
on phone, on your phone.
I should show two different. I mean, I'm on my phone, but I'm both. So anyway, I'm here, and it appears you made me host. So do you need me to
Move me.
you? And okay, let me find
I think.
you.
Oh wait,
You're
Jesse
here as
Cowart.
Libertarian.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
Jesse.
Okay.
Jesse Cowart too. It looks like.
Okay, so
Oh wait, it looks like she's moved.
I don't see her. I
Yep,
don't.
she got moved.
Okay, and you're here as Libertarian Party, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me
Evan is the entire Libertarian Party.
Wait, let's go sign to room 1.
Thank you.
You went, right? There you go. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mimi.
How are you?
Wonderful. How are you and everyone else on the call?
I'm doing good. I knew he was going to look at me, and I was on my phone because I was cleaning my house. So I knew he was going to ask as soon as they said they were going to go into executive session. Like,
hello, Mimi. And by the way, that's not your real name.
well, no, it's pretty real. I mean, it's been my name since before I was born, but my real name is Honor.
I know. I like that actually. Like Honor Blackman.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a family name in so my family, it was a family name. So it's like the first daughter of each generation. It's the Irish thing. But when I was born, there was there was 4 generations alive. So before I was born, they had already figured out that my middle name is Michelle and they were going to call me Mimi. So like, it's kind of almost like a real name. My mom was Cookie. My grandma actually went by Honor. In case anybody else wanted to know about that, but thank you, Jonathan, JJ.
So, anyone read any good books lately?
I haven't had time. Anyone else? Good books?
Grantchester Grind.
Fiction or
I'm
not fiction?
Okay, what
I'm
Tim?
reading through a collection of Thomas Aquinas's work.
That sounds good.
I'm listening to Methuselah's Children by Heinlein from about 50 years ago. The origin story of Lazarus Long. Any Heinlein fans here?
I am.
I mean,
well, early
I am.
Heinlein.
That's early. Pretty early. Yep. It's pretty
I'm not a big
libertarian
fan,
too, to
but
be
I haven't
honest.
read that.
It's
A lot of
real
his stuff
libertarian.
is.
It's actually real
I'll have to read
libertarian.
that.
Yeah.
I've read most of his work, but not in years.
And it's one of the short ones. Like a lot of his early ones, they were short. They were like, for me as a high school kid, they were like an evening read. I mean, like you're up for 4, but you know.
I've read it. I've read Methuselah's Children. And like I said, I've read most of his work, but I just haven't read it recently.
No, I had either. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, what the hell? Got it on audio. So, about 3/4 of the way through, it's fun. So, not reading a book, but yeah, listening. It's my attention span. So,
Audio books are definitely a godsend.
yeah, they're great.
Especially
I've
for
never ever listened. I've never listened to an audiobook. I feel like it's cheating.
It's not.
Yeah, call me old fashioned, but I refuse to listen to audiobooks. I will gladly read through it myself.
I was that way until I started working on my PhD, and the only time I had for disconnecting was on the commute to work or to school. And so audiobooks became the thing.
Yeah, they're definitely a good thing for people who maximize their time.
My commute is very short now, so it wouldn't probably really help.
Congrats on that, Mimi.
Oh yeah, it's well, yeah. So when I stopped being chair and I decided, well, so when I started being chair, I quit my full-time job that I had worked at the same company for a long time, and I drove like sometimes 2 hours each way to go 28 miles to get to downtown LA. And like within a year after I quit, they moved to 10 minutes from my house, and then I went back to work there, and so now it's like less than 10. It's like less than 10 minutes. So it
Very
takes a
nice.
long time to listen to an audio book, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, quite a long time.
Well, aside from books and other media, what's everybody done for Liberty today? Or recently, this week? Well, I guess this week is
Almost over or just beginning? Just beginning, really. Well, Ken, I don't know, it hasn't been in the week, but Ken can attest that Michigan has migrated their mail system and cleaning up our IT. I'm on 2 committees. One, the policy manual committee. Michigan hasn't had an active policy manual since I've been a member. So we're focusing on that. So that's what I've been doing aside from non-libertarian stuff.
I'll go. What I've been doing is, so I'm the convention committee chair for California. Our convention is going to be in February in San Diego, And so I finally got access to the website. And so yesterday, with some help from a gentleman that happens to be on this call, we got a very basic website up for the convention. I've got all of the pricing up, so I've been working on that. I'm also trying to work on IT and website stuff because I'm the chair of the website committee and information technology, and then also I'm the chair of the financial standards committee, and I just got access to the stuff on that, so I've been trying to go through and get all of the information compiled for the committee to start looking at it. So, oh, and also I'm planning the the Los Angeles County Convention, which is this month in October. And so I sent out a mailer for that and emails. And so that's what I've done for Liberty this week, in addition to like my job as a structural engineer.
Nice. Well, I think I'll go next. So as we've been on this call, I was also on another call on my phone with one of my state legislators. I sent, let's see, 3 property rights bills and 1 legal tender bill for gold and silver. And I've already talked to one of my legislators, and he's going to pick up 2 of them. And then the other one, I haven't gotten a full commitment, but he did say that he's going to take a look and talk with his policy team about it. And in general, he only runs constituent bills. So he said he's got like 7 slots open that he's willing to consider.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Sylvia trying to talk, or is it just background? That answered that. Anyone else want to talk about what they've done this week?
Well, I'll break the dead air. Here in Arkansas, we're working on our ballot access petitioning, doing outreach events and collecting signatures as we go along. So last week it was the Benton County Fair up in Northwest Arkansas. Yesterday, a festival up in Jonesboro, Northeast Arkansas. We did a lot of world's smallest political quizzes, talked to a lot of voters, and collected about 250 signatures between the 2 events while we were at it. So that's been our focus in terms of Arkansas's Libertarian Party. We're just struggling away to get that ballot access again.
I'm very happy to hear that there's some progress on that.
Yeah, and I saw pictures of you at some of those events on something. It must have been on Signal or something, but I saw some pictures of you at a booth.
Yeah, I got to learn how to use the camera so that I'm not the one in the picture all the time, get the other volunteers.
Well, since we're talking about ballot access, I'm sure a few of you know of Arizona's struggles. I think we have a former Region 1 rep here who did a full dissertation about it, where each county is also required to get its own individual ballot access, which of course sucks. But I've gotten commitments from the rest of my board that we're actually going to fund some counties for ballot access so we can expand our influence. That's probably going to be after the primary next year in August, because we can only collect signatures 2 years ahead of time.
Oh, well, good.
I'm just happy that there's actual progress being done for once.
Amy doesn't want to say anything, actually. No one in Michigan really does, because as screwed up as Michigan is, knock on wood, we have pretty much ballot access. It's just doesn't seem to be a problem here. We have other problems, but we can put people on our ballot. So it's almost like we don't talk about it. So, yeah.
Yeah, California, I mean, we're considered, a recognized political party and all of that kind of thing for like the presidential candidate. But we've got the top 2 primaries, so it doesn't really matter because we don't have like our own candidates. Anybody can run as a libertarian if they want to, and then they're in the top 2.
Well,
if they make it to the top 2, which makes me pretty happy.
unfortunately, the current Region 1 representation is has expressed disdain for ballot access efforts, and so my original plan was to maybe secure some funding from national, but that doesn't look like it's going to go forward.
Well, is that in contradiction to what Andrew said? Because I thought he was Region 1 rep. And he was supporting ballot access. Apparently, huh? That's a contradiction to what he just said.
Left hand, right hand.
Yeah. Oh well.
Can I just express how ridiculous I think the current divisive rhetoric, internally focused, has been?
I agree. It's just been.
I mean, if it's not for the benefit of Arizona, I generally don't engage.
I don't know. For me, it's hard not to see it. It's just crazy.
It's not hard to not engage. It's hard to ignore, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, can't ignore it.
It's just like turning off the TV and stop watching the news.
Weirdly, I don't watch TV, so I guess.
Nathan, have you not been to an LNC meeting in a while?
The LNC meeting? No.
Okay, yeah, that explains it.
Yeah, I've been very focused on Arizona. Had a lot to do this year, especially on the legislative front. We finally got Defend the Guard past the House committee after getting it passed through the Senate committee and the full Senate. So this upcoming session, given that we essentially have everything built out to that far at least, we just need to convince the Speaker of the House to hear it at the full House vote.
Good luck.
Thank you. We definitely need it with this speaker. But this is also a re-election year, so he's gonna have a fire under him.
I thought they said this was going to be really fast, executive session.
Well, don't you know, it's like the biblical term of soon.
It's gonna be really short.
Considering some of the members, I already anticipated that it was going to be a while.
I was being eternally optimistic that it was going to be short.
Where's Casey with the bless your heart comment?
Oh, it looks like they removed the written chat since the last time I was here.
Oh, they haven't had that for a while.
Oh, well, it's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, that's been, gosh, that's going back, way back. A couple of brief interruptions at the beginning of the meeting were unfortunate. I don't understand why they don't set it that people can't share their screen.
Yeah, there's a setting for that.
Yeah, I know, because I just noticed that Nathan is now sharing his screen. Yeah, I mean, you can do that, and I don't know why they don't set it that way. I set it that way for all my meetings, and I'm usually on smaller meetings. What is it that you're showing us on the whiteboard, Nathan?
Let's all play hangman.
I had a feeling that's what it was.
You're a couple of words short, Nathan. It's taxes are theft.
Damn it. You're predictable.
They also don't stream these on YouTube anymore, do they? Because there was something wrong with YouTube or something.
They don't live stream because there was a problem with the connection there, but why they're not uploading, I don't know. Maybe they are, I don't know.
They do upload. They do upload.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just know that they used to live stream, and then there was like some kind of problem with YouTube or something. Because that was a place where people could still, you know, talk in the chat.
Oh, that was probably the problem.
No, I think it was a technical problem with Zoom or something. I mean, I wasn't involved, but I just remember that being the case.
So how about those local sports teams?
Like, weirdly enough, because I listen to the radio, I don't watch TV, and the station I listen to, they've just recently started like airing the Chargers games. So I actually listened to a Chargers game on the radio today, even though I care not at all about football.
Nice.
And they lost, by the way.
Well, we lost our NHL team due to the fact that the owner of the team backed out on his promise that he was not going to take any taxpayer money for a new stadium. And so he left the state because the city that he was moving to was holding him to that.
Oh, interesting.
First time in a while I've actually seen a municipality not spend money that they clearly don't have.
You know, it's when they do stuff like
It-
that that it's like you can't. It was like, wait, I want to be able to say they did something bad, but once they did it,
I think the last time I saw that was in the 2010s. They were thinking about bringing them back the Seattle Supersonics, and Seattle said, "Yeah, we're not spending tax dollars to make that happen." Could be wrong though.
yeah, I don't keep up on
Yeah, you mean the Oklahoma City Thunder, don't you?
No, the Thunder were
Supersonics.
gonna stay. The Thunder were gonna stay. Yeah, the Thunder used to be the
Yeah,
Supersonics.
the
They were actually going
Supersonics. When they couldn't get money for their stadium, they moved to Oklahoma City.
right, but they were gonna. There was talks of giving Seattle the Supersonics name back, not bringing Oklahoma City back to Seattle, but just giving them a new team. But Seattle's municipal government didn't want to spend tax dollars to build the
Good.
stadium.
So it's a
today
good
the
thing.
Chargers were playing the Commanders, which I'm like, wait, who are the Commanders? Because I forgot that they used to be the Redskins and now they're the Commanders.
The commies.
It's just so funny. It's like, you know, instead of
They should have just called them
Redskins,
the
they're
Reds.
Commanders. Yeah, well, I
Reds.
mean, I don't know. It's just like it confused me because I don't pay attention. So it's like, wait,
Then they could have
Washington
been the Red
Commanders? Who are
Scare.
they?
It's fun watching this country fall to communism, man. It's clearly avoidable. And it's being done by the Republicans, which is just even more hilarious.
I'm just glad I finally own a house. Now, if I could just buy land.
Nice. Own your home. That's the single greatest thing you can do other than own a business.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with the government fucking hoops required to own a business.
I didn't say it had to be a legitimate business.
Black market, baby.
I'm not dealing with the feds coming down on me over a black market business either.
I will say that for the 5 years that I wasn't working for the firm I'm working for, I did my own consulting. And I've determined that I prefer actually just working for somebody else because it's easier. Because I have a hard time billing people. Like I did a lot of work for free because I'm not good at billing people.
It is something that I've noticed with a lot of libertarians, including myself. We're not very good at asking for money.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I feel like it took me longer than it should have to complete a project because I was sidetracked with libertarian shit, and then I just wouldn't ever send the invoice, and so I'd like have worked for free, and I realized that's not really a good way of doing it.
Well, I mean, that just means that your business operated on a loss and you can take that as a deduction.
Well, okay, there's that. Yeah, it's just it's easier having somebody else, you know, because I was just working as my own consultant. It wasn't like I had like employees or like somebody doing the billing for me. So
yeah. Well,
I
actually,
still
since
do some of my own projects, but
right,
and often for free.
going back to the what have you done for Liberty lately? Actually, Kyle still owes me, and I see Kyle's here. Kyle still owes me some information on the automated license plate readers and the flock cameras, because that's been a huge thing here in Arizona as well, is the growing surveillance state, beating that back at every municipality we can.
It is scary that, you know, any place you are, you're on camera. I mean, pretty much any place, whether it be government or whether it be just all the people's Ring cameras, which government like, seems to be able to get a hold of that footage too.
Yeah, and as many IT professionals will tell you, local municipal governments have almost no cybersecurity suite. My favorite thing about the flock cameras, though, is how they say in the contract that they don't hold the data for more than 30 days. But every time that you pass a camera, the timer resets. And if they have them all over the city, or actually anywhere in the network, is how it's written. So if you pass one, then you're in there for another 30 days. So effectively, they never get rid of you. It's great.
Gotta love it.
We were out at City of Surprise talking about this, and during the city's presentation on the topic, they even admitted that the way that their contract works, they share all data with every law enforcement agency in the state. So that includes the feds, that includes, you know, things like ICE. So it's just like even more of a police state. I know the NSA has been doing this forever, but man.
Good old Surprise, Arizona.
But Sedona took offense to the fact that ICE actually accessed their database, and they have now removed all of their automated license plate cameras.
Oh, wow.
So the hippie commune pulled through for once. And then same thing with Flagstaff. Flagstaff also got offended. The city council did not know that federal agencies were accessing their data.
Oh.
So they said,
Well,
nope,
good.
no more. What Flock tried to
Well,
do,
that's
though,
good.
was try to trap these cities in a contract and basically said, hey, you paid for this out to 20 years. So you can't get rid of our stuff. And of course, anytime somebody tries to fight the government in court, the government wins. And what happened here with Sedona in particular was the contract was voided because it never actually went through council. It was the police department itself that wrote the contract and signed it.
Oh.
So if council remands a decision like that, then it's considered void and to have never taken place.
Well, it sounds like there's some okay things happening in Arizona.
Some okay, some not so okay.
Well, I'm just looking at the rosy bright side. By the way, if they come back in, like, and I've walked away from my computer because I have to do chores. So somebody say something really quickly to me to have me go back to my computer. if you don't mind.
Hey, Nathan, do you know Parish Speech?
Parish who?
Speech?
It's not a name I'm familiar with.
I know he was running for something. I thought it was Surprise. I know he worked in the IT for a while for the government of Surprise, but he moved into politics. So I was just wondering if that name was familiar.
No.
He's a Democrat, but friend
The
of the family, though. We argue all the time.
the only, let's see, there was a couple people running last time, but that name doesn't sound familiar. The only one that I actually worked with and helped on their campaign was Kevin Sartor for mayor. Oh, they're back. Mimi, they're back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Relieving you of your duties,
Hi,
Mimi.
everybody. Yes, thank you. Okay, so is Evan back? How do I just go to make you host now, right?
Evan might be the last one out. I think the secretary usually is for whatever reason, so maybe just wait until he comes back on.
Well, I see him. I see Libertarian Party.
He's here. He's just muted.
I'm here. I just don't know why. Oh, there it is. Reclaim host.
Okay. All right. You're able to do it without me. Yay.
Yep, I'm the host. Thank you, Mimi. I appreciate it.
Excellent. No worries.
This meeting is being recorded.
You're muted, Mr. Chair.
My apologies. We are back in regular session. It is 9:10 p.m. I think everybody made it through the portal. I don't think we have any stragglers. So we'll go ahead and proceed. We are back in discussion on the motion. Mr. McMahon, you have your hand raised.
I move to amend the motion. Move to strip and remend. Just leave the room. I can't help him. Mr. Ford needs help. Somebody tell Mr. Ford to leave the meeting. Strip and amend to direct the chair or his designees to prepare a proposal for initiation of trademark litigation and potentially additional litigation relating to ballot access at the discretion of the chair in New Mexico to be presented to the executive committee in a meeting to be held within 1 week.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Motion is moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this motion?
I have a brief statement.
Go ahead, Mr. Chatterton.
I want to say thank you to the rest of the board for workshopping the language of that, and then we came to an amicable approach for that. I believe this new motion text satisfies my wishes to indicate a clear intention to move forward with this, particularly after our cease and desist that the group in New Mexico took actions to double down on their use of the name. So I'm very happy for the good discussion we had and this new motion text that I think puts us fully in compliance with our policy manual and our correct processes for going down this pathway. So I hope everyone will support this amended motion and that we can see hopefully avoiding this if there is any further action coming from the group they're infringing. And if not, that we'll be taking the steps that we need to defend our trademarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chatterton. Is there any further discussion at this time? Seeing no discussion, Mr. Secretary, whenever you're ready with your ballot.
This is on the amendment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, yeah, we got to vote. Let me ask this. Is there any objection to the amendment? Hearing no objection, the amendment passes. Mr. Ford says re-invite me to meeting via email.
He can just click on the email and I can't help Mr. Ford. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna send that to him right now. I just sent it. Godspeed to Mr. Ford. Hopefully he gets back in. Okay. So is there any discussion on the motion as amended? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to a roll call vote.
Mr. Bowler,
Yes.
Mr. Chatterton,
I vote yes.
Vice Chair Dar,
Yes.
Mr. Ford. I'll come back to Mr. Ford because I don't think he's here. Ms. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Nebel,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
I vote yes.
Mr. McGee, Mr. McGee. Is Mr. McGee in the room?
Aye.
Thank you. And there's Mr. Ford. I vote yes. Mr. Hirsch,
Yes.
Vice Chair Redpath,
I'll vote yes.
Mr. Thompson,
Pass.
Mr. Ford.
I'm sorry, I just got back into the meeting. Could you please reread the,
Yeah, the motion, the main motion is direct the chair or his designees to prepare a proposal for initiation of trademark litigation and potentially additional litigation relating to ballot access at the discretion of the chair in New Mexico to be presented to the executive committee in a meeting to be held within 1 week.
yes.
Mr. Nikela, Chair Nikela.
I'll pass
person to
briefly.
vote. Okay. Mr. Thompson,
This is Cowart. I will vote aye.
did Mr. Thompson
I
pass?
stepped away for the bio break. Sorry.
Mr. Nikela.
I vote aye.
The votes are 13 yes, 0 no's, 0 abstentions.
All right, motion passes. All right, the orders of the day are item D, motion to rescind SIC report. Mr. Chatterton, you have the floor to make your motion.
Thank you very much. I don't have the full text for it, but I think I included that in my notice thread. I believe as I will try to pull this up specifically and.
Do you want me to put it on the screen, Mr. Chatterton?
Oh, yes, I actually found it. So the motion that I present today is to rescind the Special Investigation Committee report adopted on June 9th and all appurtenant motions and resolutions adopted with it or thereafter due to the concerns over its accuracy and its independence. So if it's all right, I'll speak to that at this time, or should I?
We will need a second before we can get into discussion.
I will happily second this motion.
Mr. Chatterton, the floor is yours.
Thank you. We've had a lot of discussions on this matter. We've had a lot of back and forth over the last several months. So I think most of the arguments have been made. I believe that we've seen issues with as mentioned in the motion text, the accuracy of some of the claims or the merits of some of the claims, as well as matters related to independence of the investigation. So with that, I think we've had some new information come forward to us that I think supports all of those concerns strongly recently. And I believe that it is worthwhile to consider whether that report is forming a accurate accounting of the matters investigated. So with that, I'll conclude my comments and relinquish the floor.
Mr. Martin?
Hey, thanks, guys. As Mr. Chatterton said, I think a lot of the arguments on this have really already been made. the public doesn't get to see the full extent of it, but we do. And I'm hoping that today we'll recognize that there's a chance to do the right thing, to actually like fix this the right way and go back and address these issues in a way that's more responsible. And I think it's actually kind of our duty to do so, especially with what's been brought to our attention now. I don't think there's any room to deviate from that personally for me. See this as an opportunity to make that right. So I hope you all considered what we all got to see this week, and the significance of that if this ever were to actually be used in litigation. There's some obvious issues. So I'll just I don't want to hammer it too hard with you guys. I respect you guys, and I'm hoping that we can do the right thing today.
Mr. Dar, you have the floor.
Related to this, I still support having an independent investigation to clarify any matters that might be unclear to individuals here, to lower any doubt. But until that is conducted, that is why I'm still in favor of the SIC until an independent investigation is done.
Mr. McMahon?
I just want to say that when I was not on the committee, I was advocating strongly for an independent investigative committee, a third party hired outside to do a soup to nuts and review of everything. But I do agree with Mr. Dar. But I wasn't on the committee when this was all going on, but I felt very strongly at the time that it should be handled by outside group. But I think it needs to stand until that happens. That's my opinion on it.
Mr. Chatterton?
I would just raise a very brief follow-up comment. Is I understand people's considerations with working to conduct an independent investigation with that, but I just wanted to emphasize that with I think some of the issues that have been seen by the board and the issues discussed, I think it would be irresponsible of us to let that stand with those items still on the table before us. So I'll leave it at that.
Mr. Ford, then Mr. Martin. Mr. Ford?
So, at the risk of sounding like a car salesman, what's involved in this independent report? What is the cost? How quickly could it take place?
The only thing I could say is when I was probing for a third party forensic type audit, it was around $20,000. There might be others that have different experiences getting RFPs for different auditors, so I can't speak with certainty, but it's in that ballpark, it would seem.
I know this is not within the construct of a Roberts approved conversation, but I just want the truth out, and I want this to end desperately. Is this something that could be accomplished in a matter of weeks? Because on one hand, I'm not looking for something that's going to drag out months and then have this stand and then potentially be proven wrong, being completely as an outsider. On the other hand, if this can be done quickly, and finally, these open issues can be challenged and either found as an issue or put to rest, whatever the truth is. And we just do this. Can this happen in a matter of weeks?
I don't know.
Is it possible in this organization just to have a roundtable conversation in public and we could just put this to bed? Yeah, depending on your interpretation.
But only if we moved into, I think it's a body as a whole type discussion, which would require a vote.
I would second that. I'd love to have just
point of information. Point of information. Do you mean point of information? Do you mean a committee of the whole?
Committee of the whole. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Thank you.
But that doesn't necessarily. That just makes things a little bit messier as far as air traffic control.
What? Messy? I want the truth to be outed. because I'm convinced until we do that, this is never going to end. At the same time, I don't want the potential appointment of a commission to drag this out for months either. I'm not taking a shot at anyone. I think that's just a common sense solution. So I'll move, because you guys know how good I am at moving stuff, right? I'll move that this discussion be put to a committee of the whole with regard to a conversation of having a quick, open outsiders investigation.
Just to be clear, okay, I might be confused as to what you were requesting. I thought you wanted, so a committee of, okay, I might be, I've been up since 5 a.m. A
Yeah,
committee
my
of the
bad,
whole
buddy.
just allows us to basically speak across from each other. That's all it does. Are you asking, are you seeking to, are you seeking for the body to look into a third-party auditor? Is that the context of your
I'm
question?
looking for the body to agree. I don't know how you do this. How do you construct this as a proposal, right? I'm looking for the body to agree to a third-party investigation as long as it is brief and to the point.
There's no chance of it being brief.
I don't know what to say, because we're going to ultimately, and this is meant in the spirit of goodwill to all, ultimately this will never end. We have two groups of people with two very distinct points of view, and until, as long as there are questions that remain, even if those questions exist in one group's head, then this is still going to be argued interminably.
Mr. Ford, would you like me to facilitate a board meeting, not a business meeting, to discuss this topic at some point?
Yes, as soon as possible.
Okay.
I mean, listen, there's a couple of things that we have to address from tonight with extreme urgency. Of course, the New Mexico situation, but the same urgency needs to be appropriated to this conversation.
All right, you have my commitment on that. I will work with the board to get something going. I'm going to go to the other hands, Mr. Dar, and then Mr. McMahon. I don't believe he's, well, no, you had spoke. I'll go Mr. Dar, Mr. Martin, Mr. McMahon. Mr. Dar.
Just really quick, as you stated earlier, from the quotes I got previously, it was 10 to 20K to start, and then anywhere from up to 40 to 80K is the upward numbers were on some of the estimates there for it. So those were some of the numbers, though getting an actual new bid would be advisable.
Mr. Martin.
I'm willing to let Mr. Redpath and Mr. McMahon go first, since I've gotten the chance to speak on this. If that's okay, I will yield my time until they're done.
Mr. McMahon, then Mr. Redpath.
It was just over, I get what Mr. Ford was saying. I think that's a separate thing. Either move to amend this motion to take up hiring somebody else to do it or something like that, or dispense this motion or, something like that. But I just wanted to say that I get Mr. Ford. I just wasn't sure what he was wanting to do, but it seems like we've moved on past that. So I have nothing else to say.
Mr. Redpath.
Yes, I mean, the fee quote that seemed reasonable that was put out there, which means it's not going to be quick. We're not, there's no accounting firm or some investigative firm that's going to come in here and turn something around in just a few weeks. That isn't going to happen. I also just have a question here. When did this start? We have 20 minutes on this item. Did it start? How many minutes ago did it start? I think it was 10 minutes ago.
We have 9.5 minutes left.
9.5 minutes left. Thank you.
Mr. Martin?
I want to just speak really frankly. We all found out this week that this SIC, if implemented in litigation, would never hold up and would probably get us in trouble for not rescinding it. We learned something that was extremely troubling from a member of the SIC of a nature that could cause us legal and reputational harm if we do not take action. So I would love to get the truth out, and I fully support every effort to do so. And the first step of telling the truth is about the lie. We have to retract it. This is not something that is subject to discussion. Even if you think you got one fact right in the report, if you got 10 other facts wrong that are extremely harmful and misrepresenting the situation dramatically, that's a problem. The conflicts of interest, that's a huge problem, a massive problem, an insurmountable one, arguably. This is about telling the truth and doing the right thing. This is not about whether or not you're pro-McCardle or anti-McCardle. It's not about pro-Trump or anti-Trump. And unfortunately, I think that's what's driving a lot of the decision-making is political bias and not actually what the truth of it is. Our job as directors is to get to the truth and not to play politics with this stupid thing. So the reality is we do not need something that could get us in serious legal trouble and should probably get us in trouble, because what that SIC represents is a frame job. Let's be real. There's definitely some things that I'd love to see investigated and may be problematic, but it's a maybe. Everything that the SIC showed us, it turns out, is in very serious question. And it's crazy to me that the opinions are so strong in favor that even with irrefutable proof that misrepresentations were made, that you guys aren't willing to consider rescinding it. Heck, you're admitted through the response in the JC that misrepresentations may have occurred, and we're not bound by the statement of principles to not lie to people, which is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous argument. That's not a mischaracterization. That is literally what it says in no unambiguous, it's unambiguously clear. And so it's ridiculous to me that we're sitting here having this discussion. You guys wanted to whack me on the head with the statement of principles for saying I should get rid of socialism in the party, and I think we should, because it's a problem. So I'm not in support of maintaining this any longer. It's an active threat to our reputation, and I believe it actually ties into some of what we're dealing with on other matters, because this is not a standalone issue. And as I pointed out before, one of the members of the SIC is caught in a conflict that is so scandalous that it actually dwarfs anything McCardle was doing, in my opinion. That's just me. And I'm not just talking about the Soros connection. Mr. Redpath, if you want to talk about the payments that you received and speak in your defense, I'm open to that. I'm happy to hear anything you have to say about it. But I don't understand why you were getting paid in New Mexico by other people while you were on our dime, and why that wasn't disclosed.
Mr. Martin, this isn't germane to the motion,
It is.
and it's
That's a
accusatory.
conflict. That was
No, it's not
undisclosed.
germane.
That was undisclosed to the SIC. So
This
that's
is
germane.
you're accusing
He is a
another
member of
LLC
the
member.
SIC, and he had a conflict of interest by receiving money from one of the parties that were directly involved in the investigation. He is both a fact witness and should have been a subject of the investigation if it was being conducted under an equal standard.
Hey, Austin, let's move it along.
Mr. Martin, Mr. Redpath, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I move the previous question.
So go to a vote. Is there a second to end debate?
Yes, a second.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, we'll go ahead to a ballot. Mr. Secretary, whenever you're ready.
Mr. Bowler,
No.
Mr. Chatterton,
I vote yes.
Vice Chair Dar,
No.
Mr. Ford,
I'll abstain.
Ms. Hayes,
Pass real quick.
Mr. Neville,
Nay.
Mr. Martin,
Yes.
Mr. McGee.
Nay.
I vote no. Mr. Hirsch,
No.
Mr. Redpath,
No.
Mr. Thompson,
No.
Chair Nikayla, I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Ms. Hayes,
I'm gonna abstain.
Mr. Nikayla.
I vote no.
The vote is 2 yes, 9 no, and 2 abstentions.
Mr. Chair, I move to adjourn.
All right, is there a second?
Yes.
Any objection to adjournment? Hearing none, we are adjourned at 9:33 p.m. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your evening.
The recording has stopped.
So I will get a message out to the XCOM and we'll get something cooking this week.
Thank you for following up on that.
Yep.
On both. Stephen, that's on both issues? An investigative committee?
Correct. Yeah, I'll need to know when everybody's available. So we'll have to pick a date this week to get that meeting set up. All right, y'all. I will see you guys soon. Have a good night.
You also play regular guitar?
I don't. I wish I did. Need to get like a ukulele or something, kind of like halfway in between. That'd be nice. I realize
Mr.
that.
Martin, just during the meeting when I'm trying to do things, please, because I literally, like, I can't go to movies when other people are there because the sound of people wrestling with their candy or their popcorn, that's all I hear. And I get like real angry. So like when I was all I could hear was you playing and I couldn't focus on what I was doing. So just ask for Frank while we're
Take it
in
as a
the
compliment. I'll take it as it must have been.
Evan, do you have misophonia?
the chewing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
It can be other noise. Oh, okay. I do too.
Like it's a thing with me and Barry. Like we have to have the TV on when we're eating because and like if he starts eating before I find something to watch and turn up very loud, I like.
Yeah, it hits my fight or flight mechanism.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Like literally, I want to either punch him in the face or leave the room, and he's not doing anything. You know, he's just eating.